beautiful bunnies, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'd like to talk about a topic that I wanted to talk about for like maybe 2 days. But anyways, I'm saying, this is basically when we're talking about the Queendom effect. So I'll explain it in just a second, but make sure you subscribe and like this video if you enjoy it. Let's get on with it now, okay? Basically, the Queendom effect is where a group goes on hiatus, right? And the example we're using is Velvet, right? They went on a hiatus for about 2 years. And I'd say roughly in that time, fans were getting pretty anxious about whether the comeback would be good or not. Because there were a lot of things going on, like Silgi and Irene making their debut with Monster. And I think Wendy also had like a solo during that time, and so did Joy. So they were doing things independently and stuff. And then they came back with Queendom. And people were like, this is not what we necessarily wanted. It's kind of it's kind of like a downgrade from all the other stuff. Because, like, yeah, they were disappointed. So were Rebel Loves. Some were like, oh my gosh, this is so good. This is what we've been waiting for. Yes, slay. Others were like, no, this is disappointing. This is horrible, trash, awful, right? And I feel like that has the effect on other people as well, or other groups. So let's look at some examples of the Queendom effect. Okay, so here's our first example. Blackpink, the most recent one. So basically, they went on a hiatus in 2020, and they came back 2022, ready to slay the world again, because they always do. So they came up with Pink Venom, like a pre-release, right? Some people were like, no, this is awful, it's trash, this is why it's bad, giving reasons and everything. And then other people were like, yeah, it's mid. It's very mid. Like, I didn't expect this from them. I expected like some kind of big beat drop. It didn't have the Teddy effect necessarily. And then other people were like, this is amazing. I love it. Y'all are just saying trash stuff. Like, stop. And then basically, yeah. And so then other people were like, you know what? I thought it was bad, and then it grew on me. Kind of like what happened with Queendom for a lot of people. I think it grew on them. So that's one example. And then we also have, the last example I'm going to use is GIDLE, or Idol. And basically, Idol went on hiatus because of the Sujin scandal. And then they came back in 2022 with their song Tomboy. Some people were like, just completely trashing the song because of the cringy raps and all that stuff. Other people were like, you gotta listen to the full album. Others were like, you know what, this is actually really, really good. I don't mind the cringy rapping. And some people were just like, the song stinks in general, and were like displeased by it and everything. And then there are other people who were like, it's mid, and they need to do better. Okay, so those are some examples of the Queendom effect, and you know how the Queendom effect works. It just splits up fandoms. How, like, they go on hiatus, right? And then you're like, well, I expect something good from them. And then some part of the fandom is like, you know what, this song is really good. And then the other part of the fandom is like, no, the song is really bad. They have to do better. And so it kind of just splits up fandoms necessarily, right? So, yeah. I'm hoping that doesn't happen with, like, Everglow, because they haven't had a comeback in, like, maybe 8 months, I think. It's been some time. They need to have a comeback, okay? They do. So I hope that doesn't happen to them. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so basically what the Queendom effect does is sort of divide up the fandom, because after they have a comeback in so long, they're expecting something from either their last comeback or from previous comebacks. and if they don't get something that they like, they're gonna say it's bad. And then it all depends on like the song they come back with, because if it's mediocre or mid, then that means that people are going to just be like, no, this isn't it. And that other people will like love anything that they come back with. So like it all just is, based on who the fan is or what their preferences are. So that's what the Queendom effect does to a fandom. It kind of splits it up necessarily. Because after like they've been gone for so long, they're waiting for something, they're getting their hopes up, everything like that, having their like expectations high and everything. And then it gets divided up, right? And when they come back, you're like, oh, I expected something so much more than this. And then, like, it all just does that, And the other people are like, you know what, this is what I expected. I'm happy with this. This is not what I expected at all. And, like, I love it. So, that's what happens sometimes with the Queen effect. Yeah, okay, so I think we're going to go into the outro now. Okay, so my aspect on the Queendom effect is just that it either comes out bad or it comes out good. If it is mid to you, like, that's on you. But it's either bad or good for me. There is no in between. Because there's nothing really necessarily average about a song, because there are so many different versions of a song that could be put out. Like, there's so many different concepts. Nothing is necessarily average, I don't think. But you can think that if you want to, of course, because it's my opinion, okay? Don't hate me for it. Okay, anyways, I was saying. So, Queendom wasn't necessarily my favorite when people come back and everything. And it depends on your taste in music. So, like, if they release something that you like, like how Blackpink released Pink Venom, then that's something I like, right? I like powerful music because it makes me feel empowered. And so when they released that, I was like, oh, you know what? This isn't that bad. And then it grew on me even more, and I listened to it like almost every single day because I like to listen to music. So yeah, it works in different ways. So you can split up a fandom, or a fandom can side together and say it's good. Other people can say it's bad, or fandom just says it's bad in general. And sometimes it is mid. Sometimes it is mid, but that's really never the case. So yeah, but I'm just hopeful that it doesn't happen to Everglow, because they haven't had to come back in 8 months, and I'm missing them because they're my alt group. Where are they? I haven't just been streaming their music all the time. Like, I can't help myself. I'm sorry. But like, I really need them to have a comeback. Okay, they need to have a comeback this year, or at least in the beginning of 2023. They do, because they're disappearing. They are. We need them to have a comeback so that they're still relevant in the K-pop industry, because they are one of the 4th gen K-pop acts, but not a leading one. So if I think that if they have like a comeback similar to Pirate, then they will finally get back on top. Alright, well, that's the end of this video. I hope you liked it. Thank you so much for watching. Goodbye!